Spartan fans, we're here with head coach for San Jose State Volleyball, Trent Kersten. The coach, a big win for San Jose State to start off conference play against UNLV and in 3 sets only. What are your initial thoughts on that match now that you've had some time to reflect on it and soak that one in?
Yeah, I think each match we come into it wanting to play our best volleyball, and I thought we did that. I thought that was our high end that we've had so far, and we know that there's a lot more left. That we know that we can clean up some things and become even better. And our goal is to be playing our best at the end of the year. It's not playing our best and peak at our first game in conference, right? So UNLV is a really great team. They're well coached. They've got some really great players, and it happened to be our night, and so we got to celebrate that with the team, and that was awesome, and stoked for that. And now we're getting ready for San Diego State.
There's one question that I want to ask you that I've asked you about it somewhat previously, but home court advantage, the atmosphere last night when UNLV came into Spartan Gym, it seemed like the home crowd at least knew that the match was significant just for the fact that it was the first conference match. But the atmosphere, it was loud, it was rowdy. You had people standing up on their feet. How big of a factor is that in a match?
Yeah, I think, gosh, our crowd was awesome last night. It was the best I've ever seen it. You know, some of the people that have been here, like Vi and Ryan, had told me like that was the best they've ever seen it during their careers. And so I think it's a credit really to our team, and you know, and also our game day staff. And you know, it's more than just volleyball. It's like an event. And you know, on the team's part, there's a lot of people that really like how they play volleyball, and I think that's exciting. And I think we have a goal of, you know, like let the crowd fall in love with how we play and how hard we go, and our never give up, our blue collar mentality. And you know, I think that was on full display last night.
Some of the standouts for me, Amethyst Harper, she had another double-double. Latte Vailosi, it seemed like she always came up with a timely kill to stop a UNLV run. Defensively, Sarah Smivog seemed to always have that dig to extend a rally or a sequence for San Jose State so that they could get points. And then Haley Nelson and Ryan Thomason as well, they also offered kind of a steadying, balanced presence with the kills and with digs themselves. What does the performance say about the team, especially with those players playing so big in the most crucial moments of a match like that?
Yeah, I think we talked about maybe on our last interview, or maybe, you know, after we lost a few games, that we know we're a good team. We talked about that, right? And so I think, you know, this result that we wanted to get, like, we still know that we're a good team, and we have that confidence going into each and every game. You know, is that mean that we're going to win every game in conference? I don't know. We'll see. But we're just trying to, you know, today we wanted to have a great practice. Tomorrow we want to come in and try and play our best volleyball against San Diego State. You know, we're going to have contributions from our bench at times, and they're going to come on and they're going to have an impact. We're going to have contributions for all the players that you just listed. You know, the one person probably missing from that list was Mia, and she's just been incredible. You know, I think setters get overlooked. Sarah's been great, you know, and obviously all the attackers, and Alessia coming in and passing, Letty coming in and passing are huge, impactful touches on us winning and losing volleyball matches. And I'm just really happy with how hard we're working, how we're playing, and yeah, just really proud of the team.
You mentioned Alessia Buffagni and Mia Schaefer. That actually leads me into the next question. Do you get the sense that the Spartans are also developing great players years down the road? I mean, Buffagni is a freshman, and there was one moment in the match yesterday where she handled a Marina Hayden 50-mile-per-hour serve. Usually Hayden, if she's serving, it's almost like you can expect a service ace. Buffoni handled those serves from Hayden, and you saw the Spartan bench just kind of erupt and really, really live in that moment. In addition to her, Brooke Bryant had some big points as well. And then you mentioned Schaefer, who's only a sophomore. I asked about the state of the team right now, but what does this really say about the future too? I mean, I know we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it seems like there is some great young talent, really young talent on this team.
Yeah, it's exciting, and then there's people that are working really hard that maybe you haven't seen yet. Like we have a couple of people redshirting that you're going to be amazed when, they get on the court and they're working their butts off, and you mentioned Mia, and, actually she's a freshman again, kind of for us because she gets a free COVID year. So she'll be around for 4 more years, and Brooke, it's her freshman year. And as a freshman, it'll block her to come in and have an impact. It's a big ask because the game is so fast, and she's done a great job, and she's had to earn playing time, and I think that's a big step, but really it's a credit to my staff and how they develop, how they teach, and how they just make progress with each individual player to help elevate our team play. So it's credit to Taylor, to Cammie, to Delaney, to our volunteer David. It's really they're doing more than it is mine.
We're here with head coach Trent Kersten of San Jose State Volleyball. And coach, we will ask one more question regarding last night's big win. And it's a fairly simple one. Not sure if you can answer it or not, but last night's victory, was that the biggest victory for you as head coach at San Jose State so far?
I don't know. I mean, they all count the same, right? It counts as one. So, every match we play is a big game for us, and I think when you get into trying to weight a match based on your competition, you're going to get yourself into some trouble. And so that's why our goals are just about trying to play our best and, play with emotion and, have a lot of passion. And like we talked about earlier, like have the crowd really fall in love with how we play and how hard we fight. Those are things that we value, and we're gonna win matches, we're gonna lose some matches, and we're gonna have a belief that we are still a very good team no matter what the result is.
Next up for San Jose State is San Diego State tomorrow afternoon. I just wanted to get your initial impressions of the Aztecs. They've won 2 straight matches, both sweeps. However, they're only 4-9, but 3 of those losses were to ranked opponents, and they had 2 additional losses to Power 5 programs. So what's your sense of what San Diego State is going to bring into Spartan Gym and the challenges that they pose to your team?
I think they're a really good team. I think they do a lot of things very well. I think they've been in a bunch of different lineups. I think they've had a bunch of different contributors as far as point scoring. And so we're going to have our hands full, and, we're going to come into it expecting to go to 5, and if we go to 5, then we'll be ready, and if something else happens, then we'll be ready for that. But we're going to come into it ready to battle. And we know that they have the potential to beat us on any given night. And just like any other team in our conference, I think you can see from some of the other conference results, like Colorado State beat Boise last night, we beat UNLV. Like our conference is really good. And that's a credit to all the other coaches and teams in the Mountain West. And for us playing San Diego State tomorrow, we know that we're going to have to bring it, and we're going to have to see the game really well. We're going to have to be us and run fast and have fun and, be disciplined and, execute at a really high level to get the result that we want.
You mentioned the different lineups that San Diego State has shown. Their club has 10 newcomers on their roster this season. From a coaching staff perspective, does that make it more difficult to scout and prepare for the opponent when an opponent does have more turnover, or is that an advantage to San Jose State because you're playing an opponent that maybe is still trying to find their identity, their footing, I guess you could say?
I think it's just normal. I think it's another match of preparation. You know, when we get to this point in the season where, you know, I think they've played, you said have played 13 games, right? So we usually look at, you know, from anywhere from 5 to 7 of their past matches, and get player tapes and get rotational data, analyze that, and, you know, go from there. But the only game that's really hard to scout for is the first weekend during preseason, because you don't really have any previous matches on our video database, and so that one's a little bit tougher. You got to get into last season stuff, and now that we're in this point in our season, it's really regular with what we're looking at and how we're scouting and how we're prepping.
All right, well, head coach Trent Kersten, best of luck on Saturday as San Jose State will go for another win against the San Diego State Aztecs. San Jose State and San Diego State will play at 1 p.m. You can watch it on the Mountain West Conference Network. Coach Kersten, best of luck and congrats on the last win. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.